What is up? What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Turnbuckle Times podcast. As always, I joke. You guys hear it in the drop. It's my new thing. We're just two idiots who are just decided to talk into a mic about wrestling, and we're super glad that you guys came. Um, really quickly, right off the top, right off kind of the jump, I want to let everybody know because you guys can kind of see us doing it, feverishly working at this, is that if you want to participate in kind of the chat, what's going on, our backbone that we use has done an update. A lot of people are really upset about it. If you watch us on Twitter, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to go over and subscribe. You're going to have to go over to the YouTube channel. You're going to have to subscribe. And then you're going to be able to chat too. I mean, well, you don't have to subscribe, but while you're there, why not just hit that button? It's not that hard. It's just boop, and then you're subscribed. But if you're watching us on Twitter and you try to comment, we're not going to see it, you guys. You're going to have to get over to YouTube. So we greatly appreciate if you guys can do that. Man, I'm excited about tonight. What about you?
I am very excited. First off, let's freaking go, baby.
Oh, yes.
Second off, I'm excited to pay homage to some women in wrestling.
Yes.
It's kind of a hard list for me to put together, but
it was way more difficult than what I thought it was going to be.
Yes, exactly.
And that's not saying that it's like, oh, it's hard to think of 10 women. No, shut up. That's not true.
No,
it was hard to think of to put them into top 10.
Yeah.
I had 15.
Yeah, I had to narrow it down myself, and it was a lot tougher than I thought it was. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just you can't go wrong. My list is me, like what and that's what our lists usually are. What we think and just
how we
feel. It might not necessarily be if you go on Google and see certain lists. It might not be.
And we felt the need to kind of categorize it as modern era. What is up? Yes, ding, Justin. Ding. Justin's already in. Just to get your list together, top 10. But I'm going to have a caveat here, I got to say. So we decided you'll notice the title, Modern Era. Y'all, we don't look at us to put we had to categorize it this way because I'm not throwing Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah into this list. Mm-hmm. I'm not having people come at me because I didn't name some wrestler from the 1930s who revolutionized female wrestling. I'm just not. I'm not dealing with that. I'm sorry. So modern era for us. We kind of said it, didn't we? We kind of decided we'd set it kind of around that China debuting to now. Kind of when the female wrestler became maybe essentially kind of a female wrestler.
I've got one that's a little older that was semi, but yeah, somewhere in that era, starting in there, yes.
But I'm excited, man.
I am excited too, dude. Like I said, unfortunately, nowadays women are talked about a little more in wrestling than they were before. They were just divas. You know what I mean? There was something pretty to look at, and now you've got some of the best women talent. Sometimes the women's matches are better than the men's matches, and we didn't. I do have some current people in mind. There are some that were outside of my top 10 that you could put in there. They just haven't been around long enough to I think be in my list. So, dude, I mean, it's cool. I'm ready.
You want to go first? You go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll let you go first. You ready?
Not really. I haven't even put my.
Well, we remember the music. Music takes a minute.
I'm ready. All right, where are we at? Number 10, right?
Number 10, baby.
Sean Spears, like number 10?
10. No, Billy Bob. 10.
I give it a 10.
I give it a 10.
All right, guys. So my number 10 is Alundra Blaze.
I knew you would do something like this.
Why?
Well, we discussed this, and we weren't sure where we were going to fall with some of this stuff.
Yeah, so this is the only one I believe, as I'm looking at my list now, that is anything pre-China. WWE. But something cool about her, I mean, she's a Hall of Famer. I think
Right.
she went in 2015. She's a 3-time women's champ. But here's the other thing. She was the damn WCW Cruiserweight champ one time. But she was like before there you go, aka Medusa.
Oh, we're popping pictures again. Shout
Yeah.
out to my nephew Brody.
Yeah.
He said he enjoyed it way more last time when we didn't know who the wrestlers were.
aka Medusa here as well. But
It's a good pick, man.
I had to put her in for the sole fact of when she was in, her prime, she was more of a wrestler than well, she started off kind of as a manager and a valet, but turned into more of a wrestler. And to hold the cruiserweight title as a woman is pretty impressive, and to be in the Hall of Fame. So some of my stuff is more stat driven, and some of it might be more personal driven. This was just more personal for me because her stats on title reigns aren't like, oh my God, off the charts. You know what I mean? But I didn't feel, I actually had her outside the top 10 tonight before, and I moved her to number 10 just because I thought that she deserved a spot to get in there. So that's my number 10, dude.
I like it. A lot of people will forget too. You said Medusa. This is also, she's probably, I would say, one of the people single-handedly responsible for really sparking the Monday Night Wars. She took the WWF women's title at the time and threw it in the trash can on live TV on Nitro.
Yeah.
That was her. She had to come back. She's in the Hall of Fame, but she had to come back. She had to apologize to Vince that she was not welcome in WWE for quite some time because of that. So I like it. I like it. That's a good pick. We had thought about her. We had kind of thought about her, and she didn't get on mine. I didn't go that far back.
That's okay.
But my numbers, I'm ready for mine. You want to hit my music? So my number 10 is going to surprise some people, I think.
Of course it is.
I have Becky Lynch.
Wow. Okay.
I know, right? What? I'm not popping her picture because I feel like everybody. Well, you know what? No, I'll pop a picture of Becky. Who doesn't want to see Becky Lynch? I mean, so here's the deal. A lot of people are going to say that I put Becky way too low. Right? Number 10?
Not me.
I've got her at 10 because I do think she is an amazing wrestler. She's been doing it for a long time, and a lot of people are going to get caught up in big time Becks and the man and forget really and truthfully that was about a year and a half. That's been about a year and a half stretch of her entire career.
Yep.
Before that, it was kind of like Becky Balboa and the Irish Lass Kicker, and like she was kind of the forgotten one in the Four Horsewomen.
Yeah,
I need to see more for a longer period of time. She's probably at that stretch. She's the most over female wrestler that I can think of in modern times, but I'm not going to put her higher than some of the other ones because she's just in my mind. She's not quite there yet. She's not quite reached to where she has the potential to be in the top 5, I think. But she's just not there yet, in my opinion. And you know me, Adam. I love Becky Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, by the way, she's must-see TV, but I just can't put her any higher than 10.
That's a great picture. I remember that like it was yesterday.
I know I didn't even think about it, but that's Rumble, right?
Yeah, that's when Carmella. No, not Carmella.
No, it was Lana.
Lana got hurt.
A mud in the hole stomped in her.
Finley got her put into the match.
That place erupted,
and she won.
She won. Yep. I mean, it was great.
What's some of her stats? Do you have stats?
So yeah, I mean, when I'm looking through it, yes, we were a little more stat driven today, you guys, a little bit. So Becky's a 1-time Raw champion, which is what and then 4-time SmackDown. Okay. She is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is she's the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. I believe she won that. So she's 5 title reigns, and some of this is going to be hard to follow too, you guys, as we do some of these stats with it every once in a while, because of the fact that you've got some of these guys, some of these females who are on the split show. So it's like, oh, they're 4-time Raw, 5-time SmackDown, and then you're going to have ones who are like just the women's champion, or just the Divas champion, because they were very different times. But I mean, she's racking it up. She's just not there. And I love Becky, but she's just not there for quite yet to go any higher on the list above who I have on the list.
Right. I agree. I'm just going to say it right now. She's not in my top 10.
So here's the funny thing. I waffled with her. I had her actually right outside for another wrestler who if you watch my TB10 counts for AEW, I freaking love her. But I couldn't. Same reason I couldn't put her in the top 10. Is Britt Baker?
I didn't put her in either, but she was right outside my top 10 too. Yeah,
I mean, I love Britt Baker. I just couldn't do it, and I had her, and literally, like, I scratched it out right before and put Becky into the top 10.
Yeah, some people are gonna look at some of my picks now after what you just did and say you're stupid. So,
well, I do that on some days too.
I'm ready for.
Here's my question: you want to hit the music every time, or you want to hit the music just before we pick the picks? You know what I mean? Like, we'll do number 9, we'll hit it for you, and then we'll just roll into mine.
We can do that.
Let's just do that. That'll cut down on a little bit of time too. So we have more time to talk to y'all. So, okay, you ready?
Yeah, hit it. Okay. We're on what? Number 9, right?
Number 9.
This might be shocking.
Okay.
I don't know. You might have her in, but number 9 for me is Alexa Bliss.
Ooh.
Now, I actually thought I could put her a little higher, but I didn't. Let me just read off some of this, okay? She's a 3-time Raw champion. She's a two-time SmackDown champion. She's a 2-time Tag Team champion. She's won the Money in the Bank, and she's the 2nd Triple Crown champ in WWE. So obviously Triple Crown meaning she's won 3 major titles. Okay. I put her here, 1, for those stats. She's newer than some people, obviously, that we going forward in our list. Some of these people will be, older than what Alexa Bliss hasn't been in there for a while. But she hasn't had a title in a while, but just the character that she can play. She plays a heel and a face good. She's good in the ring. She wasn't real good in the ring when she first started, but she has gotten so much better inside the ring. I think she used to be a bodybuilder too. Doesn't look like it.
She did. Yeah, she was a female bodybuilder.
Doesn't look like
she first came on.
Or a fitness model, I guess you could say. Not a bodybuilder, but a fitness model. But I love the characters that she's playing. You said something today that she's hurt. I didn't know this.
I don't know if it's hurt. What I heard, and Dustin, surgery. I know you're in here, buddy. I think it's she's just having surgery for like a deviated septum or a sinus thing. Something that's going to put her out for just a little bit.
All right, so nothing major. Okay, but
nothing too major, I believe.
Number 9 for me was Alexa Bliss. Just accolades alone in the short amount of time that she's been in WWE, to win, I guess, 7 total titles, win the Money in the Bank, be a Triple Crown champ. It's pretty impressive considering the amount of time, like I said, that she's been in wrestling. So I had her at number 9.
So I'm not going to disagree. So she is like right at like 11, 12 for me. She was right there. And I want to clarify too, like the picture's intentional, you guys. If you're watching this, the picture's intentional. A lot of people who have started watching, and you hear me talk about like my brother and my nephews. They started watching kind of during the pandemic. You're held up at home. Why my brother's got 3 boys and 1 little girl. The 3 boys. Why not watch wrestling, right? So the only thing you've ever really seen of Alexa Bliss is this Fiend rub off character. This right here, this picture, this is Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
This is Twisted Bliss. This is her coming out dressed like Harley Quinn or the Joker or anything like that, and just being really dominant. This is that character. It was an amazing character. I hope they bring it back eventually.
Yeah.
It was cocky. It was arrogant. I love it. And I'm trying to remember, when you were rolling off her stats, did you roll off that did you talk about her being the first?
I didn't, but that was another thing.
She's the first person. She won the SmackDown title. This is since the brand split. And then they moved her over to Raw, and she promptly won the Raw title. She was the first woman to have won both. She didn't carry both at the same time. That's Becky Lynch, because they haven't let that really be that way. But, I mean, I love that pick. I think it's a great pick.
Yeah.
She's so talented. Even her character now, which is insane. She does such a great job with it. So right. I like it, man. I like it.
All right. Type your number 9 in, and then we can see.
I'm ready. So my number 9, number 9, I'm going to put Beth Phoenix. So here's the deal, you guys. For those who don't know, I'm not going to call her Mrs. Copeland. Beth Phoenix is, if you really sit and you think about it, she came in a time for WWE when the women were kind of that you had a couple who were really at their peak, and I know that I'm not mentioning those because I know for a fact some of them will be on this list. But she came in a time when the women wrestlers were, it was very looks, and as you can see by the picture, Beth Phoenix is a beautiful woman. I'm not saying that, but Beth Phoenix wrestles, and I'm not saying anything negative because her husband says this. She wrestles like a man. Yeah. She's the glamazon. She was so dominant, and she was a muscular female. Not like China muscular, but a muscular female who dominated the women in the division for a stretch of time. And I think it opened the door in my mind for a different looking kind of female wrestler. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, she bridged the gap from women's title and then they changed it over to Diva.
Yeah.
But she opened it. You hear other female wrestlers like Ember Moon and them talk about on behind the scenes things, like they saw her and they're like, hey, I can look different. I can be different and I can succeed. So, I mean, she's on my list. Plus the Glam Slam's a pretty freaking cool finisher. So, she comes in at number 9 for me.
I'm just gonna say that
4-time women's title holder.
I'm not gonna say anything else because she is on my list, but she's higher on mine.
Okay, so that makes me feel good. I'm okay with that.
She's higher on mine. But I'll tell you, I'll point something out when I get to her. Why I put her a little bit higher than what you did. So hit the music. We're going to number 8.
Number 8 it is.
All right. That's my number 8 right there. Mickie James.
Ooh, I like it. I like that one a lot.
Mickie James, first of all, when she first came out into WWE, she was crazy. She's loco, dude.
She was like a stalker.
For Trish Stratus, yes. Freaking stalker. But 5-time WWE champ, 1-time Diva champ, 3-time TNA champ. Had a baby recently, last couple 2-3 years, came back, still did it again. What's good about her is I thought she was pretty good on the mic, dude. I thought she was pretty decent on the mic. But she kind of reminded me of Alita-esque a little bit later with kind of, she did Hurricane Ranas and kind of did some more, I'm not going to say high flying stuff because Lita is the
The class
queen.
all her own on that one.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to
Lita's
her.
insane.
We'll get to her, obviously. But just some of the feuds that she had too with like Trish and the accolades alone. I put her at 8, and you could probably put her higher, or you could not have her in. But I felt like 8 was a good spot for me. I actually did have her a little higher, and then I thought, well, I got some other people I want to put in here. Some of these are going to be probably shockers to some people, but
It's okay. I'm not going to say a lot like you said. She's higher on my list.
yeah, she's higher.
She's higher on my list.
She's higher on your list. Okay,
She's higher on my list.
yeah.
So
I mean, like I said, I think she has to be in the top 10 on accolades alone, dude. On titles alone, and just I think she was involved in some pretty cool storylines with other women.
well, most notably, it's the storyline. When it was the one with Trish Stratus.
Yeah,
It was amazing. It was an amazing storyline.
So Mickie James, numero 8.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not.
You don't have to. Talk
I'm not going to
more.
say a whole lot.
You can talk more
because I have her higher.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say too much.
Get your number 8 ready.
My number 8's ready, man. You ready? So my number 8 for me, like I'm looking too, like, and this is one that I don't know will make the list for a lot of people. I'm not gonna say like controversial or anything like that, but my number 8 is Paige.
Wow.
So for me, this is why I have her at 8. Okay, I have her at 8 because, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion. You not like it, that's fine. My opinion is that Paige, more so than like when we talked about like Beth Phoenix, Paige really legitimately jumpstart the women's revolution.
Yeah,
I think people forget about that. She gets kind of lost in that because of what happened. Obviously, let's be honest too. Like she is kind of famous for a couple other things right now. But we're not going to go into that because we're talking about her talent as a wrestler.
She's talented.
But yeah, I mean, and she did. She was the reason I feel like she kind of did. She jump started the whole thing. And people also forget about it because she got injured and she's basically retired at this point.
She did not have.
I was trying to find. I've been trying to find a darn picture of her, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a little difficult.
Yeah, well, you can't put some of the pictures up there.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find. Here we go. I'm trying to find one that kind of lets you see.
Here's why I didn't put her. She's not in my top 10, Steven. I'll tell you why I didn't put her in.
There we go. Well, while you tell that, there we go. That's her holding the Divas title.
I didn't put her in because injuries killed her career. Now, one injury, yes. But I will agree with you on her jump starting the revolution of this of women. She had all the talent in the world to be a top 5 wrestler all time. Meaning championships, on the mic. I mean, for God's sake, she won the title on her very first match on Raw.
Never had a better debut
against the lady that Mrs. Phil Brooks, aka CM Punk, aka AJ Lee. She won it her first night, but with that injury,
she's had a movie made about her.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, that movie is great. If you guys have not watched that movie, it's great.
Yeah, go watch that. Wrestling with My Family is a great movie.
It's funny. It's serious. You know what I mean? It has every emotion you could feel in a movie. It has. But I didn't put her in because of that injury, and I hate that. But her accolades aren't to me as much as some of these other girls or women.
See, and I
Sorry.
get that. I get that. I mean, they're not. She's a 2-time Divas champion.
That's
You
it.
know? But in my opinion, like I said, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have some of the wrestlers you have today if it weren't for Paige.
That's true.
Paige was called up before a Charlotte, before a Sasha, before a Becky. Paige, before, divas were looked at differently.
Yep.
Paige helped kind of, I feel like, jumpstart, like I said, the women's revolution, evolution, the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, there'd be no Ruby. There probably wouldn't be like characters like a Shotzi, like a Ruby.
Yeah.
Like these punk rock, darker,
Liv
grungier.
Morgan.
Liv Morgan. These grungier female wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
She was so different than anything at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pale as a sheet and black hair, piercing. I mean, she was very different.
Very
and I think she does not get enough credit for what she did do. And fingers crossed, we're hearing rumors at this point that she might be able to make a comeback. I would love for that.
Oh, I would too. I definitely would. So
So
I like it. It's a good pick. I like it. Just
I'll take it. You ready?
What wasn't in mine? Yeah, I'm ready. All right, here we go. We are on number 7.
Yeah, let's hear it, man.
My number 7 is Gail Kim.
Ooh, I like it.
Gail Kim was, she was in WWE, but obviously she is more known in TNA than anything. She won the title only one time in WWE, but she is a 7-time Knockouts champ, which is the women's title in TNA. She's tag champ one time, and she's in the Hall of Fame for TNA. She won it in 2016. Trailblazer, dude. Like, she is so good inside the ring compared, like, honestly, to some of these other people that I have inside the ring. I think she's better than them. But some of the people that I have ahead of her have just done more for the business and in the business. And let's just be honest. TNA was a great promotion. It still is a good promotion. But WWE, for how long, was the main course of wrestling for everybody to watch. And maybe she didn't fit the mold there very well.
Right.
But I just, you cannot not put Gail Kim in. If you didn't put her in, I'm going to slap you through the freaking computer screen.
So I'm not talking a ton because, oh yeah, she's absolutely in.
Okay.
Everything
you're not going to talk
said.
a ton because she's your number 7 too.
No, she's not my number 7. She's
Okay.
not. I'm not going to say she's my number 7. She's not my number 7. I mean, yeah, she, like, what else can you say besides what you have said, which is, yeah, she revolutionized on that side. And I think that it's important, and I'll pop a picture when we get to her for mine because I don't want to be kind of just dillying with it. But I think it's important to note with this overall list. Yes, it's easy to say begins and ends with WWE, but man, there are some really, really talented, not just female wrestlers, but wrestlers in general that don't compete in the WWE.
Yes.
And just because you didn't see what she did in TNA does not make her better than some of the people that would be on this list.
Right.
And like you said, she did. She was not their cup of tea in WWE, but she still managed to win the WWE Women's title.
Right.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of her. I mean, but I'm, y'all can see we've got a new little look here where it's my colors are AEW colors a little bit more now. I mean, I've always been a fan of kind of the alternate. So I like the list.
Yeah. Where you at?
But
where we at? You got your number 7 ready?
I can, yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
And as your daughter,
yeah, I know she came running in as always. Say hi. Always. Okay, go. Okay, so my number 7.
Hit it. Put it up.
Tessa Blanchard.
Mm.
Now, I will tell you,
Mm.
probably a lot of you have no clue. Well, I think the people who watch this who do get on here will know who she is. You know
So
what I
real
mean?
quick before you say anything on her, she was my number 10, and I put Alundra Blaze in place of her. Just
Ooh.
FYI.
So we can talk openly about
Yes.
one Mrs. Tessa Blanchard. Okay.
Yes.
There's one simple reason, okay? Well, there's a couple really.
Well,
Tessa,
the one major reason.
the one major reason is she's only held one title, like in TNA,
Yeah.
but it's the TNA World Heavyweight title. She
The
beat a
men's.
man to get it.
This,
She
well,
she beat a man. Let's repeat that. Adam, repeat that for me.
She beat a man to win that.
Now, some of you will ask, if she is so talented, how come we've never heard of her? There are some issues for her, and she is basically blackballed from AEW and WWE.
Yes.
Her dad is
Tully
Tully Blanchard, by the way. So she has a ton of connections, a ton of roots. She's so talented when you do watch her. She's just never going to do it on that grandest stage. And that's why I prefaced this by saying a lot of this list is, get out, watch other things besides what we watch too. Because there are some really, really talented female wrestlers, male wrestlers, cruiserweights, whatever it is, that are across the board and everything. There are people who didn't make our list that I adore that you can see in other promotions too.
Let me just say something about her, because she has won that. You said one title in TNA, but if you look at her, she's been in a lot of different promotions and won titles everywhere. And Justin,
So she may be known for
yes,
terrible things, but her wrestling ability is phenomenal, plain and simple. That is true.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into the terrible things. You want to know what they are, you can go look them up.
Yeah. Let me say something about her too. She's 26 years old. She is only 26 years old. That's scary, dude. That's scary, because if she wasn't blackballed from the bigger promotions like WWE and AEW, she would be a champ in one of those.
Yeah.
Right now.
She's very talented.
Very talented.
Just a lot. And to be honest, I mean, dude, let's be honest. Like, we've got some people on who are on this list who've had some issues.
Yeah.
My number 8 had some issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got people who didn't make it in that did, but I mean that's my number 7, man.
I like it. Like I said, I was gonna have her in, but I don't know why I didn't. I put Alundra Blaze in. I went old school. I went older.
I like it though, because we're different.
I went older than what you wanted to go, so
that's okay. We're different. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. My number 6, Beth Phoenix.
I like it. I like that one.
Let me just say something about her. She made being a muscular woman, not the typical body style of a woman in wrestling. She made it to be fine, for little girls to watch her and not have the typical body type of a woman. Beth Phoenix is beautiful, like you said. Beautiful.
I love that you said that, because it let me feed into, there you go. That's not typical of what you see in WWE.
Exactly. And she won 4 titles, 1 Divas, 3 women's champs, Hall of Famer. She went in when Edge, was still on the shelf. Which, if you guys need to watch her Hall of Fame speech, because it's really good. But 2, how Edge was mentioned in that too was pretty cool. But everything that you said about her was 100% accurate. But I think she made it to where there's another person that did this as well. There's another person, and she's on our list. I know she is. I don't know where she is on yours. She's on mine. But she made it to where a newer generation if you were a different body type of a woman that wanted to lift weights and be bigger and strong, she made it cool.
Yeah.
To be that. And she was great in the ring too, by the way. Great in the ring.
I mean, they're all great points because there's a woman that she inspired who did not make my list, which is Natalia. Natalia is her
Yes.
best friend.
Yes.
And they talked about that too. Is that
Natty she was on my list, just not in my top 10.
See, she wasn't on mine, but which is strange because I love the Hearts.
Yeah.
But she made it cool. She made it. I mean, let's just be honest when we say they say this too. She made it cool. She made it okay. She made it sexy. She made it. She changed it the way that it was with how she was. And I mean, and let's not get this twisted with her either. She didn't retire because she couldn't wrestle. She retired because she wanted to be a mom.
Yeah,
like that. She had done it. She had reached what she wanted to reach, and she was ready to go be a mom. And that's why she retired. And she's back in. She still does commentary for NXT 2.0.
Yep.
So I mean, I love Beth Phoenix. I think she's forgotten because she's in that mishmash with the Diva era with the Bellas and all that a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why she's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. All right, put your number 6 up.
I love that one.
Get your number 6 ready. Get your baby.
I know, man. I know.
You should have already had this done.
So my number 6 is one that we've already discussed. Okay. My number 6 is Mickie James.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, yeah, she was. Mickie also kind of. I think it's hard to remember. She did have probably one of the highlight storylines of her entire career with Trish Stratus and the Stalker and kind of like the crush and the weirdness of it that led to an amazing WrestleMania match.
She's beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, and then she does great at TNA. She does great. She comes back. She's still she's not there anymore. She's at NWA now. She's still doing it at a high level. I mean, and let's with her too. It's easy to forget that she wasn't just the Stratus storyline. You know what I mean? And she held her own with what a lot of people are going to consider one of the best female wrestlers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But the storyline itself too was the way she sold it was so lasting that you're talking at the Female Royal Rumble. They paired up in the ring and the crowd went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because they it was like they locked eyes from across the ring and the crowd went berserk because they were in the ring together again. So I mean, the Mick kick, all that stuff. I think she's an easy one to forget too.
Yeah. Let me just say WWE did her dirty.
You talking about the garbage bag?
Yes. Did her dirty.
I would agree. But hey, really quickly too, before we move on to number 5, Justin did drop his top 10, and Justin, we'll get to it here after we go through them. We'll make sure that we drop in and we talk about your top 10 too, man.
Yeah.
And also, please, if you're watching on Twitter, make sure you go over to YouTube. And while you're on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
And then you can make all the comments you want, and you can tell us how stupid our top 10 is. It's okay. We love you anyway. All commentary is good commentary. Okay, you ready for your number 5?
Yeah, hit my music, man. Put my number 5 up here.
I don't like to do it because then I see what you're typing.
You're not going to see it because I haven't saved it yet. So don't look. You ready?
Yes.
Asuka.
Whoa, where's Supersonic at when you need him? Whoa.
You ready? Hold on. Tell me why. Disagree with me. Are you ready? NXT 1 time. Raw 2 times. SmackDown 1 time. Tag team twice. Money in the Bank. Royal Rumble. And she's the second women's Grand Slam champion ever. Disagree.
It's a lot of accolades.
She speaks horrible English and is not good on the mic.
She's not in my top 15.
That's good. She's in mine.
You left out, in my opinion, the most impressive stat that she has. Which was undefeated in NXT.
Yeah, undefeated.
She never lost.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I just don't have it because she's piled up the accolades, but she's also I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know. That one got me. I am surprised. So for those who don't know who Asuka is, Adam's going to talk about it for a second so I can pop a picture for you guys.
Look, man. She was known before she came to WWE too. You know what I mean? Like she was a big deal when WWE signed her. And she's a lot older than people think. She's 40 years old. So people, it's crazy to think what she's done in a short amount of time in WWE. Now, I don't know what's going on with her. I didn't even research it. Is she hurt right now?
I thought I saw something showing like a shoulder injury or something like that. But I don't know.
There's no denying her in-ring ability.
Where's Supersonic when you need him, man? He would know. Oh, Justin, where's Asuka? There you go.
There's Asuka.
The Empress of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that one's not even in my top 15. Wow.
That's good.
Wow. I like it. I do like it. That's good.
You're shocked.
I am shocked. I am shocked. That one got me. That one got me a little. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. You ready for mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like mine's not nearly as shocking. Mine's Lita.
Okay.
So Lita, here's the other, like everyone on my list, I feel like they did something to where they kind of revolutionized or they changed it or they tweaked it or they did something that made you go, oh my God. And for me, Lita kind of did that. Lita with the tattoo and then just the high flying, how she would jump around. I mean, she started, let's not forget, she started as a valet. You know, I'm trying to remember who it was. It was the little redheaded Hispanic dude. Can't remember his name.
No, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I didn't want to try to switch it, but she's my number 4, so I might as well just go ahead and talk about
her. There's plenty to talk about. But you talk about it for a second. I'm trying to find a solid picture of her for those who, for some reason, don't know who she is.
If you're a wrestling fan and don't know who Lita is, you're under a rock. But 4-time women's champ, she's a Hall of Famer. Here was my thing with Lita. Oh God, that's a great picture.
It's a little later because she's got the 2 sleeves.
Yeah, but Team Extreme. Extreme. She did shit. She modernized a high flyer to be coming from a woman. She did all the crazy shit that you would never see a woman do ever in wrestling. You see it a little more now, but still not. I still don't think.
Not to that degree.
I don't think you have a Lita right now.
No, I don't think you have someone who does the same stuff that she did.
No.
I mean, and then also like she was part of a very, very good storyline, a very, very good program between Edge and Matt Hardy that was very personal. And she transitioned in kind of a very heel valet that could change the way she elevated Edge's character with Rated R, with the Rated R Superstar. I mean, and let's not miss this either. Is that when they reintroduced the women's title, Lita unveiled it.
Yep.
At WrestleMania, Lita was the one who unveiled it. I think she's a changer, man. She changes the way. She changed the way wrestling was for females, but I think you hit it on its head too. There is no one like her who's come after her.
Yeah.
There's powerful women who came after Beth Phoenix in China. There's kind of the athletic women who have come after some of the wrestlers that we've said. But as far as like that high flying wrestler, female wrestler, there's never been another Lita.
No. And that, dude, I'm trying to think like currently like in AEW. I mean,
you rack your brain. I mean, it's tough, man.
You just don't see it.
You
she
don't
made
like,
she made punk rock cool to be a girl too. You know what I mean?
dude. She was so cool. I mean, that's
She
the
was
thing
so
too.
cool.
Like, she was so stinking cool
Hmm.
when she would wrestle. I mean, and her look. I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest, as men, her look too, of like the grungy look with I mean, let's just
Well,
say it,
you want
with
to say
the
with a
thong sticking
thong?
out the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, dude, and then she'd go out there and she would just promptly whoop someone's ass.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
100%.
that's the thing.
All right, since she was my number 4, I'm just gonna flip to your number. I'm gonna hit number 4 here, and you can type your number 4 in. How about that?
I like it. So my number 4, let me hide this, is someone that you had previously on your list, but I'm going to put her higher because I'm just a fan of being
Okay.
different. It's Gail Kim.
Okay.
You kind of said everything there was to say a little bit about her. I mean, but yeah, she is. If you were to make a list of best female wrestlers of all time outside of WWE, she'd
She's
probably
number
be
1.
number one.
Yeah, probably.
She is probably, many would consider, one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time. And
Mhm.
if she hadn't wrestled in WWE, it would be the equivalent. She'd be the greatest female wrestler to never step inside a WWE ring.
Yes.
I mean, if you've not watched her in any previous matches, she is retired now. Fun fact, she's married to Robert Irvine, the celebrity chef. I don't know why. I think that's funny.
Mm.
But
Watching her figure.
she is. I mean, and he's I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's
Yeah.
jacked, dude.
It's jacked.
But she is, yeah, she's the great. I mean, like you said, seven-time knockouts champion. That's the equivalent of winning. That's the women's title for TNA.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she is, and it's a damn shame that they couldn't. It's another example for me of them not knowing, WWE not knowing what to do with a talent. She won the title there,
Yeah.
and then she left.
Yep.
And she went on to just massive things outside of WWE.
Yeah.
So I mean, no, I have her at number 4, man.
Good. Now hit my music. Take Gail Kim down. You know why? There's my number 3. China. She your number 3 too?
She is not.
She's your number 2?
Okay, so you're gonna hate me for this. She's actually not on my list.
Okay.
But there's a reason why. It's one of those things like we've talked about before. I knew she would be on someone's.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't want to put her on both.
I put her on here because she paved the way for Beth Phoenix. In reality, she did. And she only won the women's title once.
Hit him with the good stat.
Well, she won the Intercontinental title twice. That's a men's title. In theory, that's a men's title, and she won that twice. But she's also famous for some other things, like another wrestler was. But she had a lot of demons, man. But during her time, she's trailblazer. That's all I can say. Trailblazer for women in wrestling. Absolute trailblazer.
Since she's not on mine,
Mm-hmm.
I feel the need. I mean, she's also the first woman to ever enter the Royal Rumble.
Men's
Royal Rumble. Before there was a female, she's also the first woman to eliminate a man in the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Like you said, she won the Intercontinental title. She is the first woman, in my opinion, who came in and made it okay to look the way she looked.
Yep.
I mean, she was all muscle. She was not a valet. She was not a diva. She was a wrestler.
Yep.
And I think one of the biggest travesties in WWE is the fact that she is not solo in the Hall of Fame at this
I was going to mention that. She is in the Hall of Fame, but she's in
for
with
DX.
Yeah.
And she's a member of one of the greatest stables of all time, too. One of the greatest factions of all time. She was members of both of them. But I think it's one of the greatest travesties
Yeah.
in WWE that they have not put her in the Hall of Fame. And we all know why they've not.
Yeah.
You know, we know the big reason. We know there's rumors. I mean, because she was with Triple H before he was with Stephanie. And there's all these different stuff. But get over yourself, WWE. She is the most revolutionary female wrestler of all time. I love that pick, man. I love that pick. She made my top 15, but I just didn't put her in because I knew you were going to have it there. But I love that pick, man. There, you will get no argument from me. None.
Get your number 3 in here.
Okay. My number 3 is going to surprise some people, I think.
Okay, good. Am I going to get mad?
No, I think it's going to surprise where that she's here on the list.
Okay.
Not necessarily who it is.
All right.
But my number 3 is Trish Stratus.
Okay.
I think the argument would be made, and even like you can look at like like you see a lot of the lists. She's going to be number 1 on a lot of lists.
Yeah.
She brains, beauty, brawn, everything. She is by many people, like I said, considered the greatest female wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
I just have 2 people I like more, man. But you can't argue with what she did. You can't argue with 7-time title holder between women's and I can't remember if she left before the Diva Championship, but 7 times she held the title.
I think she won all of them as a women's champ. I don't think she won a Divas title.
Yeah, I mean, she's amazing.
You know what else she won?
What else?
Hardcore title.
Did she really? Why don't I remember that? So obviously she's on your list because you did some stat digging.
She's number 2, so thank you.
Just move on into it then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Number 2 is Trish Stratus for me.
So guys, I want to clarify.
I'll go ahead and put my number 2 in here and put her name in.
Can I say something with this? Is she's also she started as a valet, and so sometimes it's hard to find pictures. I promise you guys, it's not. That's Trish Stratus.
Yeah, that's
Trish Stratus TNA.
Yeah.
I'm working. You talk. I'm working on finding one that's more appropriate for how amazing she is.
There's not much to say, dude, except for and the time that she was in there, she was the most entertaining female wrestler there was during her era to watch.
Uber talented
in the ring. Beautiful woman. Was good on the mic. You know, that was the other thing about women back then. You know, even women now. Women now, I think, there's a good one. Women now, I think, cut better promos than they did back then. But women back then weren't, they weren't made to do what she did. You had the Stacy Keeblers and the Kelly Kellys and, all that, they're pretty. But I'm here to watch wrestling. You know what I mean? And that's what she did. And I put her number 2 for a reason, and you'll know why. But there's not much else to say, dude, besides it's Trish Stratus. If you are a WWE or a wrestling fan in general, you know who. Hold on, Zeus. You know who Trish Stratus is. Sorry, I had to mute and yell at my dog. Yeah, she's my number 2 though.
She inspired, you watch the stuff. Beth Phoenix talks about that she became Beth Phoenix when she stopped trying to be the next Trish Stratus. Mm-hmm. She adored Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
That's where she made her debut a little bit, was with Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's an icon. Yeah. She really is. So I got no problem with her being higher
now
than I had her.
Now I'm anxious to see your number 2.
Okay, so my number 2, it's kind of like throw it into a grab bag and just mix it up, and you're gonna get where you get. My number 2 is Charlotte Flair. Okay, it's really, really hard, and Justin, I know you're gonna be pissed, but it's really hard to argue with 6-time Raw champion, 5-time SmackDown, and she was the NXT champion. She was a Diva champion. Well, she wasn't NXT. She was a Diva champion.
She was
multiple
NXT.
times. She was NXT. She was multiple Diva. She was the final Diva. People are going to have their issues with her because she's Flair, and they do shoehorn her into a lot of programs.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason behind that as well.
Mm-hmm.
She's not. She could coast on her name of being Charlotte Flair, but she doesn't. She is extremely talented. She hates when she is called Ric Flair's daughter. She wants to be known as Charlotte. I mean, yeah, she's extremely talented. I'm sorry. There's nothing else to really say about it for her. And I know she's on your list. I don't know where.
Well, you
she's
have
definitely
to know,
top 2.
You have to know where, because I already did number 2. There you go, baby. She's my number 1.
She's your number 1. Okay.
And I'm just going to reiterate this. Okay. I'm going to reiterate this. 2-time NXT title, 1-time Diva, 6-time Raw and current Raw, 5-time SmackDown, 1-time tag team. She's the 4th ever Women's Grand Slam winner, and she won the Royal Rumble in 2020. She's been doing this. You ready? She debuted in 2012. 9 years, almost 10. And she has won that many titles. I mean, dude, it's hard. I don't know who your number 1 is, but for me, I had Trish 1. I actually had Trish 1, Lita 2, and Charlotte 3. And then when I did my research, I was like, holy cow, dude. Like mind blown. Holy shit. She's won that many championships, Steven, in 9 years.
I mean, it's impressive.
In the ring, she's bar none in the ring. Top 3 in the ring.
I'll give it all to you, man. I will. I mean, she's an extremely talented wrestler. She is an amazing heel. She's great on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a great look. Mm-hmm. She's better as a heel than a face.
Yep, 100%. I was going to say that.
So was her dad.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with it's tricky for me. The reason for me, I don't know why I would have her at 2. I mean, I know because I love my number 1.
I know who your number 1 is.
Yeah, you know who it is.
Yeah.
We'll get to her in just a second. But the number of title reigns, we also know too that's one of the complaints is that she is shoehorned in, and we do know that as fans, we know that they're shooting to have her have as many female title reigns as her dad had world title reigns. Like, we know that's going to happen. So, but I think that's the biggest complaint people have, is that she does feel forced on you sometimes. But
I don't whether she's forced or not, Steven, it doesn't matter, because she proves it. You know what I mean? She can prove it. She doesn't get hurt. You know what I mean? She's healthy.
Besides the, she had
besides the boob, besides the busted implant. But I mean, to have those kind of stats and accolades, and here's the other thing about her: she wasn't going to be a wrestler at all. When her brother died, when Reed died, she said that she had to carry on the legacy of the Flairs. And thank God she did. You know what I mean? Because wrestling's better with a Flair in it, man. It's just better.
I mean, I'll give
it Flair in it.
So
go ahead.
My number 1. Adam knows who it is.
I already know who it is, but
my number 1 is Sasha Banks. Call it controversial, call it what you want. 5-time Raw Women's title holder, 1-time SmackDown, the inaugural Women's Tag Team Champion, first woman to ever compete in a Hell in a Cell, main eventing in a triple threat match. Stole the show at a WrestleMania with that. Did a Snoop Dogg's cousin, stole the show at NXT TakeOver with her match against Bayley. She is one of the best female wrestlers. She is the best, in my opinion, on my list. She is my number 1 female wrestler of all time. She plays, I think, one of the coolest heels ever. how she is, boss time and what she says, and it's kind of Flair-esque if you think about it, like Ric Flair-esque, like I'm better than you, and I know, like I'm gonna roll in here on my caddy, and I'm gonna knock you down. I mean,
do you know why I love her?
why?
Because of who her hero is in wrestling.
Who she never met.
Never met. It's Eddie
Eddie
Guerrero.
Guerrero. She loves Eddie Guerrero. And I mean, and I'm partial too for it too. Is that one? I think she's an amazing wrestler. I think it's better when she's there. But even like you said, like you were talking with Charlotte, like what caused her to become a wrestler. Like I like the fact that Sasha's very open outside the ring too. That she has battled and struggled a little bit with mental health, and she's had to take multiple stretches of time off to deal with it and to deal with kind of like recentering herself a little bit and getting used to it because this is her dream job. But I mean, I think she's. And what's funny is if you look at this, our top two, they debuted together. That was, and who sparked the debuts? That goes back to someone else who's on the list is Paige. That's when they brought all those people up. They brought Becky, they brought Charlotte, they brought Sasha. They brought everybody up, and it completely changed the game 100%. I mean, I've joked with you. I put on the wrestling. I put on the Hell in the Cell between her and Charlotte in front of my dad, who doesn't watch wrestling, and he was just like, they're beating the hell out of each other. Like, oh my god! Like it was a great match.
Yeah,
and that's the first time ever. And now women do it like it's old hat.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
Oh, I'm sorry, and I also forgot. Headlined the first night of WrestleMania this past year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree. I'm not gonna disagree with you. Oh, that won an ESPY too with her and Bianca Belair. That match won an ESPY award.
Come on, come on. You can't really go wrong with either one of our ones.
No. What's funny is I didn't have your number one in my list.
That is interesting. But let's here at the end before we go over Justin's. You want to talk about our the honorable mentions really quickly? Who you had right outside?
I mean, you can. Yeah, go ahead. I only had a couple.
I mean, I had Britt Baker, like I said. China was just outside. AJ Lee was in my top 15, and then Victoria.
That's a good one.
So I had Britt right there too.
I had Britt. I had Natty. I had to tell you.
I like it.
Hold on a second. I had Britt, Natty. Oh, there it is. So I had Bailey in my honorable mentions.
That's a good one. She was on a lot of lists.
Yeah, I had her, and I did not have Victoria though. But I didn't think about her until you said that. That's a good. Oh, and I had Michelle McCool in my honorable mentions.
Are you saying that looking at Justin's Paige, Jazz, Beth Phoenix, Molly Holly's an interesting.
That's a good one. That is a good
Michelle
one.
McCool's a great one. Gail Kim, China, Mickie James, Lita, and Trish. Yeah. Which is interesting to me when you look at Justin's list. If you're still watching, is no current wrestlers, no current female wrestlers on that list.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
He hates.
He does not like Charlotte. Yeah, we do know that.
He hates Charlotte Flair. So, real quick too, just want to say that I will be. Steven will not be, but I will be at Raw on Monday for the draft in Nashville. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to be there with Steven's brother and his boys.
The little girl who came in behind me is turning 11. It's her birthday. I can't ditch her on her birthday.
No, but I will be there on Monday with really killer seats for what we paid for them. So
if you're in Tennessee and you're going to Raw, look for Adam.
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter, and I'd love to talk to everybody, but I wanted to shout that out. And by the way, so with that being said, my TB10 probably won't come out until Tuesday. I might do an instant reaction from the parking lot on my phone. I don't know yet, but more than likely my 10 count will come out on Tuesday. So just want to shout that out. Hit them with the subscribe, dude.
So, like we say every time, you guys, if you like this, please subscribe, share, review, like, whatever it is. Tell a friend. If you're subscribed, that's great. If you got a friend who's already subscribed, that's great. Tell the friend to tell a friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Friends don't let friends not subscribe to Turnbuckle Times. Okay. So, but if you don't like this and you're not enjoying what we say, Adam, in the immortal words of CM Punk,
No, just shut the fuck up. We're out.